Making a bullet journal for somebody else can be a little bit of a challenge, but making a bullet journal for your best friend, well, that adds a whole new level of anxiety. Okay, maybe not, but today we're going to be looking through my best friend Rachel's bullet journal, which I made her for the year of 2022. Let's get into it. Opening up to the inside cover though, you can see we never actually put Rachel's name on the nameplate page, but you know, I'm sure she'll get it done before the end of the year. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to write it in or if I was letting her write it in, so it just didn't happen. On the first page here though, we have 2022 according to Rachel. So for her start of journal setup, she wanted a books theme, so I set this one up to be kind of like a book cover, using some dark blue paper from the Archer and Olive subscription box from last year, and then a silver acrylograph because blue and silver was the color palette for her wedding, so I thought that'd be kind of cute. After this though, we then have her future log, and we did have to put some tape in the middle here because, well, we'll get to what happened, but anywho, we did need to secure the journal a little bit more. So you can see for the books theme, I just have some printouts of like old book pages, which I ripped up and then made into these little banners. So we've got January through to December. After this one though, we then have her books read in 2022 as part of her 22 22s in 2022. So 22 things she wanted to do 22 times in the year of 2022. She did want a bookshelf in her setup, so we have the bookshelf here for the 22 books in particular. And you can see she did get 22 books read. Well, actually I think she got a decent chunk more than 22 books read, but the 22 that she put into her 2022s, those ones are on here. So you can see that one's like an open book with a little graph, which is cute. And then after this, we have the reading challenge. Now this one was for the J&R book club. So J being for Jess, R being for Rachel. We have the rules of the book club here, and then these are the covers of the books that were actually read. You can see she hasn't printed out November and December yet because I don't print these covers for her, she prints them herself. But November was Dark Matter, and December we're currently reading Decisive by Chip and Dan Heath. I really love how this one turned out. It's really cute to see like the little collection of all of the books, and our commandments were all worded in like old-timey English. So thou shalt readeth the same book as thy cousin. So we would read the same book as each other, etc. Flipping over though, we then have the elaboration of the 22 22s. So the 22 new recipes, the 22 movies, 22 TV shows, etc. And we don't have a space for every single one of the 22s, so you can see we've got 6 here, and then we've got another 6 here. So that's only 12. The books weren't listed on this one because we already had the books listed before, and some of the 22s weren't put into the lists. I know this is something that bothered me this year because I did the same thing for my 22s. So for my 2023 list, I've put a space for every single one of the 23 things. But again, we've got that old book paper that's not really from an old book, it's just a printout, but it's a nice little decorative element. And again, we have some tape in the middle because it needed some tape. I think that possibly this page actually was a tip-in. Yeah, so you can see the washi tape underneath the sellotape that was used to tip in this piece of paper so that it was extra, and that's because when it came to this page here, the cover page for January, I accidentally set it up a spread further on, like one spread into the journal further than I was supposed to. This was problematic because, well, look at it, like I'm not going to draw this out again, so I wasn't going to erase all of my pencil lines and put it back a page. But we wanted this journal to last Rachel the entire year, and space is pretty tight if you're using 160 pages to do an entire year. So that error, combined with accidentally attaching the back page one spread further into the journal, meant that we had to do some creative work to try and figure out how to fit everything in. So that included things like tip-ins and combining some weeklies when we get to November, December. But for January, you can see the theme was Alice in Wonderland. This one was a recreation of Julia's work over on Instagram. I say recreation because it's effectively exactly the same. They're like the minorest of details that are different. Her design was amazing, and I thought that Rachel would love it. This took a hot minute. I do actually have a video on the channel doing the real-time work of this. It's like 3 hours long for one spread. But anywho, after this we have her calendar and her monthly task list. And for pretty much every month in the journal, we have this same kind of setup. So the smaller calendar that she could put icons on to represent different things, and then the list view at the bottom. We had some of those designs that were from the front cover, and we've got some of the little like card suits just to tie in with the whole Alice in Wonderland vibe. After this though, we are into her weeklies, and again her weeklies are pretty much the same each week. So we have the days of the week over on the side here in this horizontal kind of list, and then a space for a task list for each week. So first week of Jan, second week of Jan. You can see that Rachel added some stickers of the different card suits just for some decorative element on each of these pages. Looking cute. And the last week of January, and then we're into February. So the theme for February was BDSM as requested by Rachel, which was a very interesting and fun thing to research, because if you search up things like cute BDSM doodles, you don't necessarily get what you're looking for. And I did the silly thing of not just opening up an incognito web browser, so my ads were kind of weird on Google for a bit after that. But I love this quote page. I thought it turned out really well. This one was just done with a pink gel pen and blackout paper from the Archer and Olive notepad. But love has no limits, but it does have a safe word. Another thing that I super loved about this setup is one of the commenters on the video for it, because I did actually make a video of this one, was like, whoever made you do this was a perverted troll, and I thought it was so funny, and I'm just like, excuse me, no kink shaming here, it is okay. I still had a lot of fun drawing these. I thought the handcuffs looked really good, like the little whip, all good. So same style of calendar again though, we've got the mini calendar, we've got the list view, and then we've got the place for her to write her task list for the month. After this, we're into the weeklies, which again have that same kind of setup. The decorative elements on this one though were the black paper that I just ripped into the corners, and then the little BDSM doodles, so handcuffs, whips, rope, that kind of stuff. I do kind of wish that I found a pink that matched the gel pen a little better, because the gel pen's a little bit more neon bright, but I still think it turned out pretty well. Now, you will see as we flip through the pages that Rachel has a varied amount of use of these, and that is sometimes my fault, because sometimes I wouldn't set up her monthly pages until like we were in the month, which I'm sorry Rachel, I apologize. For instance, when we got to March, I didn't end up setting up her March. She actually did this one herself. February is typically a fairly busy time at school for me, you know, going back to term 1 and really getting into the thick of it. So Rachel took this challenge upon herself and decided to set up her own March setup, and she went with a Pokemon, well, Eeveelutions kind of theme. So we have Eevee with the different Eeveelution tails, and then we've got the symbols for the different, I think they're called evolution stones. Can you tell that I don't really play Pokemon, but I've got a general idea of it. We have the monthly log in the same style, so mini calendar, list view, and then for decoration on each of the pages, she did these corner designs with the different symbols for the different types of Pokemon, like, you know, water type, ice type, etc. And also some little evolution doodles. So we've got an Espeon, we've got a Vaporeon with the little water symbol, and then we've got the different stones for the decoration on each of the days of the week. And I think these were the same for each week, yep. So, similar style, but Leafeon. We have Sylveon, which I assume this must be the symbol for fairy types. Again, I don't play Pokemon, so I'm really not too sure. We've got Glaceon with the ice type. And then we have Umbreon with the dark type symbol. Very cute. I think Rachel did a great job. For April, we went with a bubble tea theme, and this is probably one of my favorite themes from her journal. I would love to do a bubble tea theme for myself, but we have our besties, because we're best friends. So this is Jess Bubble Tea, and this is Rachel Bubble Tea, because I'm short and she's tall. We've got little Winky Bubble Tea for the cover. Everything turned out so super cute, and I love the color palette, and I love all the little bubble tea drawings. So the decoration on this one was super easy, which is also probably why I like it quite a lot. Drawing the bubble teas themselves, it's really just not difficult. But you see we've got the little bubble teas all the way down the side here, and then the little kind of like bubbles for the headers and stuff. It's just beautiful. So first week of April, second week of April, so you can see the difference in use, right? Like, and this is fair, like this happens to all of us. So we've got like quite a substantial list here, and then we've got like a much smaller list on this one. All good. We've got April's third week, and then April's fourth week. So gorgeous. I'm totally doing a bubble tea theme for myself one day. And then our theme for May, which you can see May written in the poison apple here, which I was very proud of. This is one of the ones that I actually sketched out like in December of last year because I kind of knew exactly what I wanted for this one. But the theme for May was Disney villains, and all of the quotes here come from the Descendants movies, which are like the kids of the Disney villains, which like they're not good movies to be honest, but I love them. I think they are very enjoyable, and Rachel watched them around the same time, so we've got a lot of different quote work from those movies. So we've got the little lineup here, which I thought was very cute in the kind of rainbow order. And then just a simple calendar with not a lot of decoration there. We've just got the kind of like font work, I guess you could say. And then we're on to the weeklies. For the weeklies here, I wanted to maintain the rainbow order that we've got. It's just the kind of symbols of different villains, I suppose. So we've got like the little apple, like the poison apple from Snow White. We've got the little mask from Princess and the Frog, Dr. Facilier, I think he's called. We've got the shell from Ursula from The Little Mermaid. We've got the staff from Maleficent from Sleeping Beauty. The little fire represents Hades because his head is on fire. And then we've got the little paw print to represent Scar, which I just drew in purple because I wanted the rainbow order. And then we've got the poison, Cusco's poison. The poison for Cusco. I don't know the quote, but you guys get it. Rachel also added in some quotes from the Descendants movies to kind of just decorate the sides of her pages here too, but all of these weeks look pretty much the same. I think that these are really cute. I really love how that turned out. I also quite just enjoy using this style of font with the little serifs. It's like simple, but it just makes things look a little more like elevated. So very cute stuff. When we get to June, I can't remember what we were supposed to do for June. I think it was maybe supposed to be a constellations theme, but I had just gotten these stickers from the washi tape shop and I wanted to use them so bad because I don't know if you can see, but it's like super gold and shiny. It's just really, really pretty. And I know that Rachel likes plants. I'm not really like a big on botanicals kind of person, but Rachel likes greenery and stuff. So I was like, hey, we can like put it in your journal. And she thankfully agreed because it made the setup way faster because these are all just stickers and that's washi tape. But we've got our quote page, we've got our cover page with the wreath design, very cute. And then our simple calendar just with some extra panel decoration down the side here. And we've got cute little corner work. So yeah, like I said, these were super easy to do because they are just stickers and then some extra dots that I put in with a gold acrylograph pen, which the gold doesn't like perfectly match. You can probably tell there is a distinct difference in the level of shininess, but you know, at a glance it blends. For the weeks though, in terms of the stickers, they were obviously too big to put on the actual days of the week, so I had to draw some plant life myself. Some of them turned out better than others, let's just put it that way. I'm not big on being able to draw botanicals, but you know, I tried. That's what counts, right? But I tied it in with the little gold dots so that it kind of looked fairly similar, and then just used a simple cursive font for all of our headers. So next weekly, and then just alternating where the decoration was placed, that kind of stuff, so that it kind of looks a little bit different on each of the weeklies. So changing up what the stickers were and their placement. For July is Rachel's birthday month because she's born on like Christmas in July, and she is a Hufflepuff, so we did a Hufflepuff theme for her, which I'm very pleased with how these turned out. Obviously this one is just like a direct copy of the Hufflepuff one, and then I effectively flipped it and then put July in this one, so I think that they looked pretty cute together. It took a hot minute, but I think it looks cute. We have the calendar, and for the decoration on these ones, I just used some washi tape layers, so using the same kind of colors as the Hufflepuff colors. This one was chosen because I thought it kind of looked like a scarf, so I was kind of going for like Hufflepuff scarf vibes. I don't know if that's what I pulled off, but obviously her task list didn't get used this month, but all good. And then we are into the weeklies. So June 27th to July 3rd. Now I know that there was a weekly it was this month. So June 27th to July 3rd might seem familiar because this is June 27th to July 3rd. So this weekly is actually a repeat, unfortunately. And then, well, after July 3rd should come July 4th, but this is July 11th because I wasn't supposed to put this one here. This was supposed to be the 4th to the 10th. So that was my bad. Apologies to Rachel because, yeah. oops. But you can see the corner decoration, we again just alternate into the different corners. We've got the little Hufflepuff shields here to do the decoration there. This lettering style was tricky, but I appreciated the challenge. It was the first time I'd really kind of used my art line calligraphy pen. The lettering isn't like the most spectacular, but I think I did a pretty good job. For August, this is one of the months that I very much set up like very late. I don't even know how late into August it actually was, but it was late. So if there are any pages in here that Rachel didn't use, it is pretty much 100% my fault. But the theme for this one was pastel goth, so we had this little decoration of, I can't remember what the bear, I think she started calling it Tabitha. I think this is Tabitha. So Tabitha with her kind of like gloomy rainbow and her little like pastel goth vibes. And all of the headers were printed out on this kind of, well, they weren't on black paper, they were just on white paper but on black boxes. But we can then bring the color palette into those headers, which I thought was pretty cute. So we've got the calendar, which again, she didn't use because I didn't set it up. Rachel added this decoration in herself because I am a slacker. I'm sorry, Rachel. But I really love the color palette on this, and I love that there were, enough colors to do 7 colors here, because there's 7 letters in August? 6 letters in August. I can't count. So 7 colors though. You can see like green, light blue, darker blue, blue purple, red purple, pink, and like, I don't know, peach? It's not even a peach, it's more like a red, pale red, which is really just pink, but whatever. So decoration that Rachel added in herself, same idea again, and all of this is blank because I am a schmuck. But hey, at least she got to use this one, because I think that this is probably the week that I actually gave her back her journal and had it set up enough-ish. This one was used. Cute little pumpkin with a broken heart. But it seems happy about it, so I'm sure it's fine. For September, this is another month where things just kind of got busy and I ended up doing a simpler kind of theme for her. So these ones are just sticky notes from Stationery Pal, and then we've got some washi tape in the background, and then just some silver dots and silver work. And the quote here, I don't know if you can see it, you probably can better than I can. So, to the stars who listen and the dreams that are answered. And I know that this is a quote from a book series she likes, I just don't know which book it is. But September calendar, keeping it simple, loving the washi tape. I also just like that this is 69. I know it's not 69, I'm pretty sure it's like the Pisces symbol or something, or maybe Cancer. I can't remember. In my mind, it's Pisces, but I'm not sure. And then we've got some more corner decoration with that washi tape. Very pretty stuff, super simple. Again, I set this up late, I'm pretty sure, so not really used. Super simple stuff. Simple, simple, simple. This style of lettering is kind of a go-to when I want to do things simply. It's just an all caps underneath with a Tombow, and then over the top with the silver acrylograph pen, which I think just looks kind of, it's pretty, but it's not hard. So alternating those corners in terms of the decoration on each of these. See, I feel like she could just use September again next year. Like, it's all set up for her. It's just the dates will be wrong. I'm sorry. And then we've got the last week of September and we're into October. Now, October was like a half and half kind of thing. I think she hasn't erased her pencil. I will erase the pencil for her. There we go. So as said, October was a half and half, so Rachel did this decoration herself. I coloured in the pumpkin for her though. She did use my pen for it, so I suppose that counts as my input, right? No, okay, that doesn't count. But we've got a kind of Halloween spooky vibe going. So we have the calendar, which I did because this is washi tape that I have, or washi stickers and washi tape. So we've got the calendar with a kind of like spooky decoration, which is cute. And then we've got the weeklies. So for each of the weeklies, I drew these little pumpkins, which is why I also drew the pumpkin on the first page so that they kind of matched. But we've got little pumpkins, which I think are very sweet, and then the washi tape stickers from the washi tape shop. So another nice, super simple setup. We've got the little border decoration, and then we've got October 10th to 16th. She didn't even write my birthday in. What a biscuit. Nah, all good. It's fine. She was sick. I will forgive her. So, October 17th to 23rd, again with our little corner decoration, looking very cute. And then, of course, this is the day before Halloween and the last weekly in October, so I put in a little happy Halloween sticker as well, but very cute. And then we get into November. Now, the November setup was one that was kind of done because I didn't really know what else to do. I don't think we actually had planned what we wanted to do for November, but I love this setup. I'm very much into the kind of like vintage, neutral kind of vibes at the moment, but I don't usually use it in my journal, so I used it in Rachel's instead. So this background piece of paper is just a scrapbooking piece of paper, but I liked the layering on it. I thought that was cute. And then we layered on some other elements, a little torn kind of sticky note thing, and then this little ticket, and these little stamp stickers, which are so cute, and then the craft paper header. So this is one of the monthlies that's actually a different style. We don't have the mini calendar because it would be kind of hard to put on top of here, but we do have the vertical one. This was the place for her task list, but that's okay, it didn't get used. And then we're into the weeklies. Now, as I mentioned before, I put some pages in the wrong places. So when it comes to November and December, we have a couple of weeklies that needed to be combined. So rather than just having 1 week on this spread, we have 1 week of events here, 1 week of events here, and then a combined week task list, or combined 2 weeks task list. Not that it got used, but that's okay. We've got the next week of November, which I just love doing all of the decoration on this. It was just a lot of fun, and I think it turned out really pretty. This one down the bottom here I thought was quite funny because it was like, save the date for Mary and Wilbur's wedding, but the wedding's on the same day that Rachel and Jason's anniversary is. Like, bar the year they didn't get married in 2012. But I just thought that that was really kind of a funny coincidence, so I stuck that on this page. And then we have the next week. This one I had to attach with a bit of tape because I don't think this was sticking down properly, but got nice little washi tape corners and these little stamp stickers, which I just think are really cute. And then we are into December. Now, December's theme was supposed to be something else, but I showed Rachel these washi tape stickers and she said, hey, well, if you just want an easy, quick setup, then you can use those. So I got to use the washi tape stickers with the little dogs being all like festive and Christmassy. And then the rest of the elements I just kind of pulled together from that red and green color palette. So we have a little present kind of design here. So this is like actually wrapping paper that I have. And then just some washi tape that I folded in half to make a kind of ribbon. And a little tag that says, to Rachel from Jess. And then we've got a bauble hanging here because baubles were one of the repeated elements that I used in all of these pages. So flipping over and I'll show you, but you can see we've got little baubles hanging up here and little baubles on the to-do list. We've got our little doggos, which are looking pretty cute, looking festive. They're actually really cute. But you can see that peachy kind of tone, or that like pale pink, I pulled from the washi tape stickers as well, because anywhere that would be white on them was that color, so I brought that into the color palette as well. We've got the first 2 weeks of December, so again, like I said, I did need to combine some weeks because of my own personal stuff-ups. But week 1 and 2, and then we've got our task list here with our little doggos. So the dogs change on each of the weeklies, but they are sitting in the corners. Sometimes there's one in the middle, depending on the size of the dog stickers. It's trying to kind of make it look a little bit balanced, I suppose. There we go. So we've got more little baubles, more little doggo stickers, which is pretty cute. I do wish that the sticker set had more dogs. I think there was only like 9 or something, so I did have to use some repeats, but they're still pretty cute. And then this is going to be the last week of December, so 1st of January. And after this, we have this page, which was supposed to be stuck here, which is why we had to do all those things that we had to do. So we've got the back cover of the book of 2022, according to Rachel. And then we've got her pen test page, a sticker that Emily made, which she was trying out in her journal, and then just her scribble page on the back with another random sticker that I stuck in here. Making a journal for a friend was a fun challenge, and it was nice to see how her theme choices differed to mine. It was cool getting to try out some different styles, like for instance the bubble tea one, which I probably wouldn't have initially done in my own journal, but now I really want to do in my own journal. I appreciate Rachel for being patient with me because I didn't really expect this to be as much work as it was. Which I mean, like, I know how much work I put into my journal, so I probably should have expected it, but we live and we learn. If you wanted to see more of my bullet journal flip throughs though, then the playlist at the top is where it's at. Or if you wanted to see the 2022 flip throughs in particular, the one at the bottom's for you. Click or tap on either of those and I'll see you over there.